How's it going, everyone? Christian here. Today I'm going to be bringing you some Dynasty football content. Off season's here for some of us, myself included, and it is time to get ready for the new season. So I have a couple buy low, sell high candidates for you at each position. Just something to start thinking about if your league does have a trade deadline. Don't get me started about that. Or if it doesn't, you're lucky enough to start trading as of now, go ahead, acquire these players, sell these players. It's just something to get you ready for the next season. You want to go ahead and put yourself in a position to make sure you're in the playoffs at this time next year and you're not sitting in this spot. So we're going to start at the quarterback position, and my buy for the quarterback position is going to be Tua. I am a big fan of Tua. My dynasty rankings, I'm pretty sure I'm higher than consensus than a lot of people. And I just believe that going into next year, the Dolphins are going to invest in him. You've seen it this year with no offensive line, no run game. He is standing in the pocket. He's stepping outside of the pocket to make plays downfield. Jalen Waddle, the connection that they have there going back to Alabama, and now it's showing in the NFL as well. That's something that's just going to continue building. And like I said, Dolphins are going to have that cap space. They're going to bring in a running back. They're going to solidify that offensive line, whether it's via the draft or via free agency. I just believe that Tua is going to be put in a better position going into next year. For a sell, Jalen Hurts. There's no denying the production that he has right now. He is showcasing his ability to rush, his arm when Nick Sirianni actually lets him throw. Earlier in the season, he was showing that he was a dual threat quarterback, and he does have that talent. The reason why I'm selling is because there's no guarantee he's going to be a starting quarterback next year. Granted, like I said, he has the talent to do it, but the Eagles not been strangers to going out there and saying that they're willing to trade their draft capital in order to get a Deshaun Watson, a Russell Wilson. Maybe they make a play for an Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? But if that's the case, that means Hurts is no longer going to be starting for the Eagles. And, he could get traded to those other teams, but who knows? Like I said. So that's the reason why I believe now is the time to sell him. And I think his value is at its peak right now, because if that's the case, if he becomes a backup quarterback, what are you going to do with him? Who's going to take that in? Going to the running back position, my buy as running back is going to be Antonio Gibson. And the reason why I am buying Antonio Gibson is because I believe we are just starting to see what he is capable of. Washington football team are just starting to use him in the passing game. They're giving him the touches, and they're showing us what he's capable of doing. They're showing themselves what he's capable of doing because they never gave him that chance before. He's able to run the ball. He was a wide receiver at Memphis, converted into a running back, so he has the pass catching ability. He's young enough. The Washington football team is going to, you have to think they're going to get better. They're going to try to bring in a quarterback. They have Terry McLaurin on the outside. Logan Thomas is going to come back from the torn ACL. They have the weapons. And J.D. McKissic will not be there next year. So this is going to be Antonio Gibson's backfield. And before his stock rises, I think now is the time to get him. His owners might be a little soured as to what he was doing earlier in the year. And Washington football team has not helped that case by giving the ball to J.D. McKissic, and they fall behind in a lot of games, so they don't really have the game script to just hand the ball off to him. But I think going into next season, he's going to be in a much better spot. And my sell, as much as this one hurts to say, is Javonte Williams. And it is Javonte Williams because some of the trades that I have seen him involved in are absolutely insane. And when I mean insane, I mean nothing less than 2 first-round picks and a player for him. And, he's going to be as of right now, he is the only running back in that backfield going into next year. But they do have a lot of receiving weapons in Sutton, who they just resigned, Tim Patrick, who they just resigned, Jerry Jeudy is a monster, Noah Fant, Albert O, and they are going to bring in a quarterback. No matter who it is, they are going to bring in a better quarterback than what they have now. And they're going to want to make sure that they use those weapons on the outside because they are paying them. So, Javonte Williams is a talented back, super young back. He is my number 2 ranked running back in Dynasty right now. I mean, he is that. I think his talent is that good. But Melvin Gordon has said he would like to return to Denver. Maybe that happens. I doubt it. Maybe it does. But you have to think they're going to bring somebody else in. And they're not going to give a full workload to Javonte Williams, to preserve him down the line. So that's why he is my sell at running back. For wide receiver, my buy right now is Jerry Jeudy. And it's for the reason I just said, that they are going to bring in a quarterback. And Jerry Jeudy is the most talented weapon in that offense right now, other than Javonte, obviously. I'm focusing more on receivers, but Jerry Jeudy does have that skill. And with a better quarterback coming in next year, I believe that he is going to produce at such another level. And this year, it kind of hurt because he got hurt. So we missed him for all this time, and we weren't really able to see what he'd be capable of doing, even if it was with Teddy Bridgewater. But he is getting the target share already. So you'd have to think that, that whatever quarterback comes in, the Russell Wilson, the Aaron Rodgers, the Deshaun Watson, you'd have to think that they're going to want to target the most talented player on that field, and that's going to be Jerry Jeudy. And my sell is Van Jefferson. And Van Jefferson is going absolutely crazy right now. He's got a touchdown in 3 straight games, but his targets are low. His touchdowns are coming on, deep bombs downfield. His last game, I think it was 2 for 52 and a touchdown. Next year, they're going to have Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods is going to come back from the ACL. We don't know how that's going to happen, but he'll be back. They wasted a second-round pick on Tutu Atwell last year. OBJ has made it no stranger. He wants to come back, and they've said that they are willing to bring him back on a deal. So there are going to be a lot of receivers on that team, and I believe that he is no more than a wide receiver 3 on whatever team he is on. So that's why he is my sell right now. You want to take advantage of what he is doing. And for the tight end position, my buy is Irv Smith Jr. And going into this season, I was all in on Irv Smith. Just the way that Minnesota uses the tight end, play action, Kirk Cousins rolling out, that is a system made for him. And he got hurt before the season even started, so that obviously wasn't great. But going into next year, I am all in. I'm going to be all in again on Irv Smith Jr., and that's the reason why I think you should buy in on him. Adam Thielen is getting a little older. Justin Jefferson is the number 1 receiver dynasty in the NFL. No doubt about it. He is incredible. His talent is incredible. KJ Osborne, he has shown some talent as well. Adam Thielen, like I said, he's getting older. Who knows if they move on from him in the offseason or not. But I believe Irv Smith is such a talented tight end, and I think that he is very valuable going into next year. And because he didn't play this year, he will be cheap. So I'd say, go out, grab him if you can. And lastly, the sell for tight end is going to be Darren Waller. And, like all these other sells that I've had, Darren Waller is very talented, and the tight end position isn't as deep as these other positions. So, you have a Darren Waller on your team, you want to hold that, especially if you're in tight end premium. But, he's already 29. He's had these little nagging injuries here and there. Las Vegas is going to bring in another receiver going into this next season. They lost Henry Ruggs, so they're going to want to look to replace that. Hunter Renfrow is a very talented receiver. He's very good. You're seeing that now as well. But just like Van Jefferson, I think his ceiling is kind of capped at a certain level. To me, he's more like a Julian Edelman. I don't think he's really number one. They're going to target a number one. Maybe they go out and get Devontae Adams, who was teammates with Derek Carr at Fresno State. You know, Devontae Adams said he wants to maybe go back to the West Coast. So if he comes in, you know, it's going to take targets away from Waller. And being that Waller is an elite tight end, that is something you want to take advantage of now when you can. Go out, see what you can get for him. Like I said, he's 29 years old. It's not really old for a tight end, so it's kind of tough. But you know, you want to start getting into or selling off when you can. Sell off now before it's too late. So those are my buys and sells at each position. You know, let me know your thoughts. I mean, some just misses for buys. I'm a big believer in J.K. Dobbins, but everybody says, you know, go out and buy J.K. Dobbins, take advantage of the fact that he's sitting on somebody's IR. I personally have a share of J.K. Dobbins. I'm not selling him. I would go out to buy J.K. Dobbins, just like everybody else said, but since that is so popular, I wanted to stray away from that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Eager to hear. I put out my own personal Dynasty rankings on Twitter. You can find that at ccrest_26. Go ahead, comment on them. Let me know your thoughts, and appreciate you guys taking the time to listen in. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.